You've tried Notion, Asana, bullet journaling, time blocking, Pomodoro timer, Monday.com, ClickUp, Trello, you name it. Maybe you've even hired a VA to help you manage it all. And for a few weeks, it works. You feel organized, you feel in control. You think, now this is a system that's going to keep me on track. And then it doesn't. You abandon it because it just becomes one more thing cluttering up your life instead of simplifying it. And everyone tells you, you just haven't found the right system yet. Keep looking. That, my friends, I'm going to be real honest with you. That's BS. The reason that every business system has failed you isn't because it's the wrong tool. It's because you're using an external solution for an internal problem. Here's what I mean by that. Let me explain. You discover a new productivity system, maybe on YouTube, or maybe you found it in a summit or somewhere online, or maybe even a fellow entrepreneur told you about it, or maybe it's a hot new app that everybody's trying. You get excited, you set it up, you customize it, you make it perfect for you. Week 1, you're using it religiously. Everything's going in the system. You're checking it daily. You feel so organized. Week 2, still going strong. A few tasks might have fallen through the cracks. Week 3, you miss a day or two because life gets busy. You tell yourself, I'll catch up on that this weekend. Week 4, you're right back to your old habits. And that system is sitting there staring at you in the face, partially filled out, mocking you. And you internalize that and you feel like a failure. And here's what you're probably telling yourself: I'm not disciplined enough, or this system just doesn't fit my brain, or I need to find something simpler. So then we find something else. So we go looking for the next system and the cycle just repeats itself. But here's what nobody is telling you. The problem isn't the system, and it's not even you. It's that you're only addressing half the problem. Most productivity systems only focus on the external: your tasks, your files, your inbox, your calendar. And that makes perfect sense. Those are the things that you can see and touch and organize. But here's what they're missing. The external chaos is a symptom, not the cause. Let me give you an example. You set up a beautiful task management system, color coded, even prioritized. Every task has a due date, but every time you open it, your chest tightens, your breathing gets shallow, and you feel overwhelmed before you even get started. So you close it, you avoid it, you go scrolling on YouTube or Instagram, and you think that it's a willpower problem, but it's not, my friend. It's a nervous system problem. Your body is responding to that task like it's a threat. And when your nervous system gets activated, it goes into that fight, flight, fawn, freeze mode. So you literally cannot use organizational systems effectively because your brain isn't in a state to prioritize or plan or execute. It's in a state where it just wants to survive. And here's the kicker: the more chaotic your back end is, the more your nervous system stays activated, which means you're less able to use a system that should help you. You're stuck in this loop: disorganized backend, activated nervous system. Can't use systems. Backend stays disorganized, nervous system stays activated, and on it goes in this cycle. This is why you can't just find the right system, because no external system can override an activated nervous system. So here's what I hope you understand. You have 2 problems, not one. Problem number 1 is that your backend is chaos. Your files are scattered. Your inbox is overwhelming. Your tasks live in your head or sticky notes or different apps. And you don't have a clear system for how systems flow through your business. This is the external problem. This is what we see. And this is what most productivity experts try to fix. But the second problem is that your nervous system is dysregulated. Every time you look at that chaotic backend, your body responds with stress. Your breathing gets shallow, your heart rate increases, your cortisol spikes. And when you're in that state, you cannot think clearly. You can't make good decisions. You cannot organize effectively. This is your internal system. This is what you feel. And this is what most productivity experts completely ignore. And here's the crucial part: you can't fix one without the other. If you organize your back end, but your nervous system stays dysregulated, you won't maintain the system. You'll fall back into that chaos because your body is in survival mode. And then if you regulate your nervous system and don't clean up your business back end, every time you sit down to work, you'll get re-triggered because that external chaos is going to bring you right back to that nervous system dysregulation. You need both. You need to organize your back end and give your nervous system tools to stay regulated while you're doing it. This is why every system that you've tried has failed. They only give you half the solution. Okay, so let's talk about what actually works when you organize organize your backend and your nervous system together so your systems actually stick. Here's what this can look like. Part one is your backend systems, that external structure. This is the part that you're probably familiar with, but we do it a little differently because we're not creating complex, perfect systems. We're creating minimal viable systems, just enough structure to reduce chaos without becoming one more thing that you have to maintain. So the essentials of this is one clear file organization system where everything has a home. Inbox management that reduces those triggers and not just inbox zero for the sake of it. Task management that you can actually see and use. Visual, simple, not overstimulating. And clear workflows for recurring tasks so that you're not reinventing the wheel every time. Notice what's not on this list. Fancy automations, color coding everything, tracking every metric, building elaborate dashboards. We start simple with what actually reduces your nervous system activation. Here's the truth. The goal isn't to have perfect systems. The goal is to have systems that work, ones that let your nervous system relax. Part two is the nervous system regulation, the internal capacity. This is the part that most people completely skip, and it's why their systems fail. You need to learn to recognize when your nervous system is activated, because when you're activated, you can't organize effectively. Here are some signs that your nervous system might be activated. Your chest tightens when you look at your task list, shallow breathing when you open your inbox, an impulse to close the app and to literally do anything else. Decision paralysis, you can't pick what to do first, or scrolling instead of working. If you notice these signs, you don't just push through. That is how you burn out, and we don't want that. You have beautiful offerings to put out into the world, and I'm here to help you do that. Instead, you regulate first, then you organize. And some simple regulation tools are box breathing. Before you open up your task management system, do a little box breathing. In for the count of 4, hold for the count of 4, out for the count of 4, hold for the count of 4. Or physical grounding when you're feeling overwhelmed, feet flat on the floor. Maybe notice 5 things that you can see around you. Micro breaks is another really good self-regulation tool that you can even build into your day every 20 minutes or so. And then permission to stop when you've hit your capacity, because organizing while activated just makes things worse. So give yourself permission to stop. So the goal is to stay in what's called our window of tolerance, that zone where you can actually make good decisions and think clearly. When you combine clean back-end systems with a regulated nervous system, systems stick because your body isn't fighting them anymore. Here's what happens when you address both simultaneously. You organize your inbox, but before you even open up your inbox, you do 2 minutes of box breathing. You stay regulated while you work. You take breaks when you need them. The task no longer feels overwhelming because your nervous system isn't activated. So the result is your inbox stays organized because you haven't traumatized yourself while organizing it. Another way this can look is when you set up your task management system. You keep it simple. Just enough structure to reduce chaos. You don't try to make it perfect, and you just give yourself permission to adjust as you go. The result of this is that you actually use your task management system and get things done because it's not overwhelming to look at. Or how about building workflows? You build in nervous system breaks. You recognize when you're getting activated, and you even pause and stop and take a break when you know that you are, instead of pushing through. And the results of this is that you maintain the workflows because they support your capacity instead of exceeding it. This is what systems that actually work look like. Not perfect systems, not complex systems, systems that honor both your business backend and your internal state. And when you have both, you stop abandoning systems. You stop feeling like you're failing. You stop searching for all the right systems or the next shiny new tool because you find that you actually have what you needed all along, a 2-part solution to a 2-part problem. If you're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, Diane, this is so spot on. I totally relate to this. This is me. This is exactly what we do in Strategic Blueprint. It's my 5-week program where we build your business backend systems and your nervous system capacity to maintain those systems. Most programs give you templates and say, good luck. We do it differently. Some of the things we cover are identifying your North Star, getting clarity on what actually matters so your systems serve that vision, not just organizing your chaos or organizing for the sake of organizing. We build your email system, inbox zen, not inbox zero. Digital declutter, task management. We build your command center. We talk about automation and delegation, and we create systems that you'll actually use. These are all the pre-recorded trainings, plus you get weekly live coaching with other soulpreneurs going through the same thing, regulating their nervous system and building their business backend. You also get a one-on-one strategic scale session. After you've built your systems, we'll meet one-on-one to see if anything needs to be adjusted. But here's what makes this program different. We address both the business backend and the internal state from day one, because I learned the hard way, like you, that you can't fix one without the other. I spent years trying every system and tool and platform. I'd set them up perfectly. I'd use them for a few weeks and then I'd abandon them. And I'm a fairly disciplined person. So this always blew my mind. I'm like, why doesn't this work? What's going on? And we all know how difficult it is when you're a solopreneur and you're the only one in the business. There's so many different hats that you have to wear, but end up beating myself up every time. And there was nobody teaching this back then. Nobody connecting the dots between business backend chaos and nervous system dysregulation. I didn't realize that because my business was so chaotic in the back end that my body was literally trying to keep me safe. And when I learned this, everything changed for me. When I started addressing both simultaneously, cleaning up my back end and regulating my nervous system, systems finally stuck. My business transformed. I stopped feeling like I was drowning. I could think clearly. And the exciting thing was I could actually check things off my list. I was moving the needle in my business. I was scaling. And that's what I want for you, my friend. That's my North Star, is to help you, because you deserve systems that actually stick. Not because you found the right one, because you finally addressed the real problem. The link for Strategic Blueprint is in the description when you're ready. But mostly I just want to say, if you've been beating yourself up because nothing sticks, stop. It's not that you're not disciplined enough. It's not that you haven't found the right system yet. It's that you've been trying to solve a two-part problem with one solution. And now you know better. External systems plus internal regulation equals systems that stick. That's what works. Stay gold, my friends.